strength of that, I would suggest one of the things that is most helpful to draw upon from a retreat or a situation like this is to say, deeply etch that into our consciousness, our attitude that we are never a victim. Though as human beings we have tremendous resources, we have capacities, and even though things might tell us, or that our thoughts might say, I have no power to resist this, I would say, yes, we do. We do, and but it's the difficult thing, as most of us probably recognize, is learning to listen to that voice that says, yes, yes, we do. We have a choice here, because part of us actually enjoys being carried along, enjoys being a victim, enjoys sort of saying, it's out of my hands. I have no power here. Some strange element of our being likes that. Ajahn Chah once said, until we really know the pain of attachment, we won't let go. Reason won't cause us to let go. Good advice from our friends won't cause us to let go. Usually the main thing that causes us to let go is pain. Ow! When we realize this really hurts, and that when we recognize the pain of attachment, then that is what really impels us to say, to listen to that voice that says, I don't have to do this, or like, no, I'm tired of this. I'm really tired. I am ready to drop this, because that sense of burdenedness, that sense of pain and tension in the heart, something that the voice of wisdom manages to come through and say, enough. And one of the very helpful teachings of the Buddha in this respect, addressing this area, he said, suffering ripens in one of two ways. Again, it's kind of referring to what I've been saying this evening. It says suffering either ripens in further suffering, like dukkha becomes a cause for further dukkha, that suffering causes us to get caught up in desire and then following the same patterns of gratification and identification. Or it ripens in search. So either you keep going around and around the wheel of becoming, caught up in the same cycles of compulsive habits and identification, or it results in search. And the search means that voice of wisdom that says, there must be a way out of this. I'm really tired of being trapped in this cycle of being constantly drawn towards attractive people, or towards gambling opportunities, or towards looking for social approval, or looking for the next new pie shop, whatever it might be. That in the heart that recognizes, I don't have to be a victim here. I don't have to go along with this. It is possible. So that intuition in your heart that knows it is possible to be free of this, to not be caught up in this, and there's got to be a way. So that search is searching for the way, what that way is to free the heart from that. And in one of the expressions, or the Buddha's descriptions of paticca samuppada, there's a very unique, recension of it, and he describes how this works, and that rather than the dukkha being a cause for further dukkha, then at the end of the cycle, when it goes, say, clinging leads to becoming leads to birth leads to aging, sickness and death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief and despair, towards dukkha. Then, straight after dukkha having been caused, then the Buddha says that dukkha gives rise to faith, and then faith gives rise to joy. and that faith is arising because in that respect, dukkha is a cause for faith, because there's enough of that quality of wisdom that is saying there's got to be a way out. That dukkha is being, say, reflected upon. So rather than the dukkha being wallowed in, like poor me, or how can I can't stand this, or I think I need another tub of ice cream, or I need to smoke. That dukkha is not being wallowed in or believed in, but it's being reflected upon. It's at that moment there's this, oh no, here I am again. This is I've had enough of this. So that dukkha being the cause for faith is that the faith that there's got to be an alternative. I know the heart can be freed of this. And then, following up on that arising of faith, of saddha, there comes the pamoja, or joy, that, yeah, right. Like as soon as that's given some credence, as soon as that intuition is, say, is followed or allowed to have its effect, again, there's the wisdom aspect of our nature says, yeah, that's right, and that's really good news. And then with the arising of that sense of delight, there's a relaxation of body and mind, like what's called kaya samadhi, and then that leads towards contentment. Contentment then leads to the quality of samadhi, a concentration, and samadhi leads to insight into the way things are, knowledge and vision of the way things are. That insight then leads to liberation. So in that particular recension of paticca samuppada, then right from dukkha, rather than that just causing more and more trips around the wheel, that suffering is the cause of faith, and then leading to the exit from